Larissa is now threatening to reveal all of Colt's big bad secrets, and she's also threatening to take legal action against him. Guys, what is up? Happy Labor Day to all of you amazing people. Hope you guys have an incredible day. Last night we had a new episode of 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After, which I'm going to talk about in a couple of minutes. But also, this past weekend we had some hilariously crazy drama with Colt, Larissa, and Jess. So what was this drama? Well, what happened was Colt, believe it or not, made an OnlyFans account. And OnlyFans, for those of you guys that don't know, is an account where you can kind of post pictures of God knows what, and people can pay and have a subscription, that kind of a thing. Well, Colt just made one, which when I heard that, I was like, who is going to pay their hard-earned money to see pictures of you-know-what with Colt? So I can't even believe that, number one. But number two, when he made his account, in the profile, you can have a background image, and the background image was a Photoshop picture of him with Jess, his ex-girlfriend, Larissa, his ex-wife, and Vanessa, his current girlfriend. So immediately when Jess and Larissa saw this, cover background image, they flipped out and took to social media and told him off. First, Larissa said this. She said, "Someone tell my blank of an ex-husband to take my photo down of his blank OnlyFans account, or secrets are going to be revealed." She then went on to say, "I'm trying to deal with everything legally, but you keep bugging me with your blank life. Get a life, idiot." So obviously, Larissa, she is not happy, and really quick, I don't blame her. Why would she be okay with Colt using a Photoshop picture of her on his OnlyFans account where he is going to make money? So usually I don't agree with Larissa, but in this situation, I do. And Jess, Colt's now ex-girlfriend, also kind of told him off big time on social media. She said, "This is what a passive-aggressive bleep does. First, they send out my you-know-what pictures, and now he is using my face on his ridiculous OnlyFans account. Who is going to pay to see a Vienna sausage that he sent to thousands of chicks for free?" So Colt and Jess and Larissa are obviously not on good terms at all. But the thing I want to talk about really quick is if you go back to Larissa's post, she said she is going to reveal his big secrets. Okay, now Colt did change the background image. Now it is just a picture of Colt in a robe. Yes, just a robe. And it's, not very pretty. But anyway, he did change the picture, so I guess Larissa isn't going to reveal any of these big bad secrets. But my question for you guys is, what are these secrets? I mean, I don't even know. It's like Colt has already been called out for doing so many different things. What else can he be hiding from us? What are these secrets? So that's the first thing with this video. Guys, put in the comments below if you guys have any idea or if you know of anything. I am so curious what Larissa is talking about. And like I said at the beginning of this video, now Colt and Jess are exes. They are not together, and that's all because on last night's episode of 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After, we got to see Jess finally dump Colt. We all know everything that happened with their relationship. So much stuff went down when they were in Brazil, then they came back, then Colt basically cheated, then for some reason Colt convinced Jess to come on over to Vegas, where he admitted to number one, cheating, and number two, that Vanessa moved in with him and his mom. So once Jess heard those things, she was done. It was over. She wasn't having it, and she just, was extremely hysterical and emotional and said, "I'm over you. You ruined me. You made me so sad and so hurt. We are done." And honestly, her emotions seemed real. Like, I always kind of thought maybe there's a possibility that Jess is just using Colt to, I don't know, come to America or to be on the show, to become famous. Who really knows? But after watching last night's episode, her emotions seemed real. Like, maybe she actually, I don't know why, but maybe she actually did love this guy. Now let me just say that one more time. I don't know what she saw in Colt, because Jess, great personality, cute girl. Colt, on the other hand, not so much. But she was extremely hysterical, really sad, and later on in the episode, she ended up meeting up with the one and only Larissa, and she pretty much just sat her down and said, "Hey, you were right. Debbie is out of her mind. Colt, he used me to probably just get back at you and to make you jealous. jealous. I'm sorry, you were right. And the funniest thing is, now Larissa and Jess appear to be like really good friends, and I kind of think that Jess moved to Vegas. I have even heard rumors that she is now with a new man, and she might have possibly gotten married. Can't say yes or no, but I have heard that vague rumor that she actually might have married this guy, which would just be the icing on the cake. So hilarious. So last night, Jess dumped Colt. Their relationship is over. Now let's move over to the next couple, and that will be Andre and Elizabeth, because we got to see a lot of stuff. Now, I have already briefly talked about what went down with these two, but really quick to keep it fast for you guys. What happened was Elizabeth's dad, brother, and sister called out Andre because they met with Andre's friend, and they were kind of questioning him about Andre's past with the police force and this and that, and why he did leave Moldova and all that stuff. Basically, what happened was the police force, very corrupt, very backwards, and Andre just had to leave. He didn't want to go down that direction in life, so he took the other route, the safe route, the honest route, and he left the country. Which, hey, you know, great for him, good for Andre. And honestly, that was about it. Not a whole lot went down, but then when Elizabeth's dad and brother and sister called out Andre for leaving and this and that and kind of getting kicked out of his country, you know, Elizabeth was like, what? You never told me any of this. So she flipped out, but Andre was saying, I told you everything, which I don't know how true that actually is, but that's what he was claiming, that he did in fact tell her. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't, not really sure. But anyway, you guys, you know, he pretty much just retold the story to Elizabeth's family. They finally kind of started to shut up, and then we saw a one-on-one with him and Elizabeth, and he finally retold her the whole story. She even admitted, hey, it's not that big of a deal, and they hugged it out, and it sounds like they're gonna get married the next day, which I am actually pretty excited to see this wedding. So like I've been saying this entire time, I don't think Andre's whole thing was that big of a deal. I think it was just kind of, you know, blown out of proportion for the show, and I think Elizabeth's dad and brother and sister are incredibly nosy. Next up on the list would be Angela and Michael, and please so help me God, we are almost at their official wedding, where we get to see Angela walk down the aisle and the two of these people are married in Nigeria. We have been waiting all season to see these two crazy, you know, people get married, and we're almost there. In the 2 episodes ago, we got to see Angela and Michael get into a big old fight, and honestly, you guys, it was really just Angela. They went to a bar. There were waitresses. I've said this a million times, but there was waitresses walking around. Angela thought that Michael was looking at the waitresses, and of course, she got hysterically angry and mad and upset, and she stormed on off with her friend. But the next day, she did apologize to Michael, and she said, hey, I had a little bit too much of this, a little too much liquid courage, and I said some stuff I didn't mean. She kind of apologized, he kind of apologized. They were happy, they hugged it out. Michael obviously must be the sweetest guy in the entire world, because he can still stand being with her. Because honestly, at this point, you guys, I'm so over Angela. I don't like her, I'm sick of her. She is just way too dramatic for me, and that is coming from someone, me, who absolutely loves drama. But Angela, I'm sick of her. But now in the last episode, we finally got to see their wedding. We got to kind of see the two of them get ready. They're so close to finally sealing the deal, and that was about it. Then probably the next most interesting couple we got to see last night would be Tanya and Sinjin, and boy, let me tell you one thing, this is just like one of the most explosive, real explosive couples on this season. They're not like Angela, they're not like, you know, one of those people like Elizabeth where they really fake drama. I think Sinjin is real, and Tanya, she is honestly also real, and she is a control freak. She wants to control everything, and hey, I'm not a fan of Tanya, but we have to give her props for at least being who she is. The problem is, Sinjin, her husband, does not like being controlled, so obviously they're doing a lot of clashing, their relationship is not going well, and on last night's episode, 2 things happened. First off, they ended up meeting up again with Sinjin's mom and stepdad and brother and sister, and basically the 2 parents just said, hey, you know, if you guys keep fighting at this rate, eventually, sooner than later, you should just go your separate ways and get a divorce, because it doesn't make sense and it's just too toxic for 2 people to be together if their relationship isn't going well. Like, what is the point? And I think Tanya started to kind of realize that, okay, they're right. I do want to stay with Sinjin. Therefore, I should give him a little bit more space and I shouldn't be so hard on him. So she had that thought for, I don't know, maybe like 0.2 seconds, because later in the episode, they ended up meeting up with Sinjin's two best friends, and they were definitely kind of pushing her buttons. They were trying to kind of rile her up, but just like that, all of a sudden Tanya started getting emotional. She started screaming, she started crying, and more, it is so obvious that the two of these people have no business whatsoever being together. I think Tanya, she needs to marry someone that will let her tell them what to do exactly, and Sinjin is not that person. And Sinjin, he needs to divorce her and come on back to South Africa and live his life free and happy. They are a god-awful couple. They are fighting constantly, and on last night's episode, you know, around the friends, the two friends were also like, you know, what is going on? And these two will not stop fighting, and they were even joking about, you know, taking bets on when their relationship is going to end. So yeah, Tanya and Sinjin not looking very good. We got to see Karini and Paul for a minute, and really quick, basically what happened was Paul, it's been 2 months, the guy is still looking for a job, and obviously no luck. I am just calling BS. I am saying he is just lazy, because if they live in any bit of a normal-ish, you know, size city, there are tons of places where he could get a job. I know that for a fact. And if the guy really desperately wanted a job, I'm confident he could get one, but he claims after 2 months, he has still had no luck. And Karini, she's not having it. She's very upset. You know, she's really hurt, and she's at the point where now she's saying, hey, I'm lonely. You still don't have a job, so let's go back to Brazil. And Paul actually agreed, which sounds amazing. It sounds all happy, so I don't know what's going to happen. However, I do know that sometime from when they filmed that segment to now in present day, something went down that just completely, totally ruined their relationship, because now in present day, we all know, you know, all of us that love 90 Day Fiancé now know that Paul and Karini are not only not together, but they also both were granted restraining orders against each other. So obviously something went down. I don't know what, but something went down where it just completely ended and ruined their relationship. And supposedly, the funniest part is, now supposedly Paul is back in Brazil and Karini is now in Indiana, I've heard. So I don't know who to believe, but it does sound like on social media, Paul's posting all these videos. It really looks like he is actually back in Brazil. And oh my God, I almost forgot Kalani and Asuelu. Yes, really quick, we did get to see them. Basically, they went to therapy because they are having so many differences in their marriage. So they went to therapy, and Asuelu said, I will go to therapy only if we have a Samoan translator. And surprisingly, I don't know with whose money, they actually went to therapy and a Samoan translator was present, and they talked out their differences. You know, honestly, you guys, it looks like they're trying, but I just personally don't see how they're going to make this work. I don't know how they can just move past their differences. They have so many differences, and even the therapist was like, they can try to kind of make things work, make it happen, but if in a couple of months they're still having these same fights, they're probably going to be happier if they just go and get a divorce. And that was from the mouth of the therapist. And a lot of Asuelu's problems, it sounds like, actually do stem from the fact that Kalani won't let him be the man of the family, which is very common in the Samoan culture, and he's also upset that, you know, she's kind of trying to do stuff with his family and ruin his relationship with his family without him being really involved. So I don't know, maybe if Kalani gave him more control, more say, maybe their relationship would work better. But with my take on Asuelu, you know, that's like giving, like, you know, a 5-year-old more control. The guy acts like a 13-year-old. He doesn't act like a 24, 25-year-old man. He acts like a teenager. So I don't know if she really should be giving him more control and more say and more authority, but that is what it seems like Asuelu really wants, and I'm not sure that is the best decision for Kalani. And that was about it from last night's episode. It was a fantastic episode. I thought very entertaining, and I was so happy, and I was cheering and rooting on Jess when she dumped Colt. She should have done it weeks ago, but you know what? I'm still happy. She stood up for herself. She dumped him. That's exactly what she should have done a long time ago. And for Larissa and Colt, I just honestly, you guys, I am not a fan of Larissa, but everything going on with Colt's OnlyFans and photoshopping this picture, that is not cool at all. He should never have done that, and honestly, I kind of agree with Larissa. Larissa made a comment. She was like, you know, move on with your life and stop talking about my life. That is kind of like what Colt is doing. Colt is still talking and dragging on and holding on to Larissa's life. It's like, leave her and Jess alone. We have seen all of these pictures and videos of Colt and Vanessa holding hands and being together as a couple. So now we're pretty confident that yes, they are boyfriend, girlfriend, they are dating. So it's like you have a new woman, you moved on in life, forget Larissa and Jess and just move on. And the other thing that I can't believe really quick before I sign off for today is who in this, planet is going to sign up for Colt's OnlyFans? That is something I wanted to actually ask you guys at the beginning of the video, but I forgot. I am so curious. It's like $25. Are you kidding me? Are there actually men and women, probably mainly women, I guess maybe some men too, that are going to pay $25 a month to see pictures of Colt? And if you are one of those people, hey, I'm not judging. I am just legitimately curious who on earth is going to pay that. So if you are, I'm curious. Put in my comments below. I am super curious to see how many people are signing up and why on earth. But hey, I mean, the guy did get Larissa and Jess and now Vanessa, so maybe he is more of a catch to women than I really can see. I don't know. I don't see how that'd be possible, but maybe he is. So guys, 90 Day Fiance, thank you so much for watching this video. It means the world to me. Make sure to tap that like button if you haven't already subscribed. Once again, seriously, it means so much when you guys do subscribe to this channel. So hit that subscribe button, comment below your thoughts on last night's episode and everything else going on, and stay tuned for many more videos.